Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Thank you for joining us on the CoreTV News on the hour. I am Ebulomo Adekule. Proceedings were almost stalled at the House of Representatives after a move by the majority People's Democratic Party to sack all Progressives Congress House leaders resulted in rowdiness. It took the presiding Deputy Speaker, Emeka Ihadioha, a few minutes to restore order as PDP and APC lawmakers disagreed over the matter. It was the Deputy House Majority Leader, Leo Ogo, who took APC members by surprise when he raised an order of privilege to draw attention to what he considered an anomaly. Citing relevant House rules, Ogo, a PDP member from Delta State, says there is a provision that all minority parties in the chamber should nominate candidates to occupy minority leadership positions in the House. Femi Gbajabiamila, an APC member from Lagos State, queried how the internal affair of minority parties breached the privilege of Ogo, a PDP member.
The rules do not say that the minority parties shall nominate based on party basis.
Among ourselves, we agree and we have our leadership and we communicate to our party and the leadership of the... Therefore, Leo Ogo is not a member of the APC.
There was, however, more drama when ABGA, Labour Party and Accord caucus leaders took turns to disagree with Gbajabiamila and support...
Minority leaders, order! Listen to debate. In the parliament. Let me finish, I will continue.
In Kwara State, the People's Democratic Party in the state has challenged the ruling All Progressives Congress in the state to publicly disclose the sources of funds it had been using to finance the party since its registration. PDP Publicity Secretary Rex Olawoye threw the challenge in a statement in Ilorin. The PDP was reacting to an earlier statement credited to Sulaiman Buhari, the state's APC Publicity Secretary, accusing the PDP of organizing a fundraising event in Abuja. Olawoye also challenged the APC to disclose the source of the money it used to pay for the multi-million naira mansion which the party recently acquired as secretariat. He says that the PDP raised funds from well-to-do members of the party and public-spirited members of the society. The crisis rocking the Labour Party in Ogun State is taking a new dimension as a faction led by Olabode Simeon alleged that the other faction, loyal to a former governor of the state, Gbenga Daniel, offered it a bribe of 16.3 million naira to take over the party structure. This is coming exactly 18 days after the two factions who set the national leadership of the party, which included National Chairman Dan Uwanyao and Governor of Ondo State Olusegun Mimiko in Abeokuta. In a meeting with loyalists at the State Secretariat in Adaton, Abeokuta, the state factional chairman Bode Simeon alleged that the other faction had made several attempts to hijack the party from them. He says the other faction had offered him a trip to either Canada or Dubai and a bribe of 16.3 million naira, which came in foreign currency and naira. This, he added, were to be shared by him, the Secretary Ogini Olaposi, and Financial Secretary Arabambi Abayomi. The party, in a communique read by its financial secretary, condemned the statements credited to Daniel that the party has been handed over to him by the national leadership. The State Publicity Secretary, loyal to Daniel's faction, Deji Kalejaye, described the allegation of bribery as alien, baseless and illogical to the ideals of the Labour Party. Bring Back Argyle's protesters have filed a suit challenging the decision of the FCT Police Commissioner, Joseph Mbu, to ban protests and rallies in Abuja. The group wants a federal high court in Abuja to declare that the police commissioner does not have the power to place a ban on protests and rallies in the federal capital territory. The protesters, through an application filed on their behalf by Falano and Falano Chambers, say the order violated their constitutional rights to freedom of expression and association. They asked the court to declare that the decision to ban protests and rallies in the FCT with effect from June 1st, 2014 is illegal and unconstitutional. Reactions have begun to trail the coming in of new governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. He replaces Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, who was on February 20 suspended by President Goodluck Jonathan. Emefiele's name was immediately forwarded by the president as replacement, putting to rest the battle for the coveted seat. An economic expert, Sam Olisa, says the incoming of a new governor will allow CBN to do more for the
you know, there are various legs. So the last runner maybe is tiring out. Then handles the baton to a fresh runner who will pick with higher speed and stability. So one will expect that the incoming of a new governor will allow the CBN to do more to grow the economy, to do more to have impact on the economy, which in turn, if the impact is positive, in turn, it will have impact on the standard of living of the citizens.
Changing the monetary policy, according to him, does not need to wait for a new governor.
Changes in monetary policies does not need to wait for a new CBN governor, because any economy is like a human being. There are ups and downs. So you make changes in the policies depending on the direction in which the economy is going. However, having said that, when we have a new governor, normally they will sit down, be a new person, they will assess what is going on, they will assess the direction of the economy, and as a new governor, he would like to respond quickly so as to begin to make his own impact on the economy.
In a bid to review Nigeria's foreign policy enacted by the Tafawa Balewa administration in 1961, the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs and the Nigerian Institute on Foreign Affairs have identified challenges in changing the perception of Nigeria's leadership role. Olajumoke Olatunji has details.
The conference identified the absence of a constitutional framework, corruption and massive embezzlement of public funds as some of the challenges limiting Nigeria's development. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Joe Keshi, says the media should be careful in the dissemination of information about the security of the nation, saying it will pose a bad image for the country if not properly coordinated.
When you begin to amplify that the Boko Haram, that they are better than your military. First of all, you demoralize the military, the people you have sent to the war front. You demoralize them. But when the media stands behind the military 100%, it helps the military.
Chairman of DAR Communications, represented by Kenny Ogungbe, says the electronic media is highly regulated.
There's a place where we can give journalists or media practitioners first-hand protection. We don't want to lose journalists. We don't want to have people dying. Electronic media is regulated. Newspaper, print media is not. If you have anything written about you in a way that you don't like it, you can only write a letter to the press council. But if you have a situation where somebody broadcasts something negative about you, about the country, we have National Broadcasting Commission, that is the umbrella body that regulates.
Participants inched the need for a free flow of information between security operatives and the media. In the same vein, author Mbanefo urged the federal government to give the need for an open and sincere government.
When we have all the apparatus to run an open government, we have the Freedom of Information Act, which should guide us. And when you find like America is running an open government, every day the State House comes out and briefs the country. At the weekend, the people on the various press, what do you call them, the press interviews or sessions they have in their national media, those who are responsible talk about what they're doing, talk about the reasons why they're doing it, and talk about the benefits that they're going to get. Not necessarily on a political campaign basis, but on informing the people.
While the media is feeding the public with information as required, and they are raising, challenging, provoking, new ideas, it has been discovered that when they are informing too, they do not always look at the aspect of the implications of what they report for national security. And we're now looking at it to say, what are the dynamics of the attitudinal disposition of the media?
Good governance has come under the searchlight recently over the challenges faced by the country in many sectors. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's still CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with more reports. Don't go away.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
CoreTV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. The show to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 014-533-407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Thank you for being there with us. And for more information on our news and other programs, you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Reach us on Twitter @CoreTV News NG, and also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/CoreTV And now outside Nigeria, NATO head Anders Fogh Rasmussen has dismissed the presidential elections in Syria as mockery, saying it did not meet international standards. Rasmussen says the vote did not fulfill international standards for free, fair and transparent elections, saying no NATO ally will recognize the outcome of the so-called elections. President Bashar al-Assad is expected to win a crushing victory over two little-known challenges in the elections, which the Syrian opposition has also condemned as an embarrassment.
It's a farce. It doesn't fulfill international standards for free, fair and transparent elections. And I'm sure that no ally will recognize the outcome of these so-called elections. I really appreciate the American leadership in taking reassurance measures. A first very important step in that direction would be for Russia to de-escalate the situation, first and foremost by a full withdrawal of Russian troops from the Ukrainian borders. Still, tens of thousands of Russian troops along the Ukrainian borders, and that massive troop presence is not justified. It would contribute to a political and peaceful solution to the problems if Russia stops the support for armed gangs in eastern Ukraine, armed gangs that occupy government buildings and, as we have seen, also take OSCE observers hostage.
Thank you so much for being there with us on CoreTV News on the hour, and that ends it for this hour. Join us again top of the hour for more. We'll take a break and we'll be back on Core Digest.